they got to think about, there was a long time ago where presentations weren't cool. 5 years ago, if I asked you if a company called TED would win a Peabody Award for broadcasting slides, you probably would have thrown up a little bit in your mouth. Like you would have been like, what? But that's what's happening. Presentations are so powerful. The spoken word is so powerful. It's really hard to point to a movement that didn't start with some sort of an impassioned plea. And that's the beauty of it. You get people in the room, there's a collective effervescence that's irreplaceable. Like there's nothing you can do that's any more glorious than bringing the right people in the room and thriving together around the spoken word. So I knew that everything needed to be reinvented. When this landed in my lap, I could actually see. As a entrepreneur, for some reason, I'm a seer. I can see about 18 months out. I can confidently know that in 18 months I need to be here, I need to be here, I need to be here. I can actually see it pretty clearly. I mean, it's a little foggy, but pretty clearly. So we've been through several reinventions ourselves. And a reinvention of a business is like life. We're born, we live, we die. Right? So you start, you grow, you mature. And in a business, you start to go into a form of decay if you go into a steady state. You can't do that because you'll become like fallow rot. It just starts to become maintenance. And whenever it's maintenance, that's when you know you've matured and you're decaying or ultimately going into decline, which would actually ultimately mean the destruction of your firm unless you reinvent yourself. So you start up, you grow, you mature, and then if you reinvent yourself, you'll thrive. So you got to take yourself through multiple reinventions. And I want to talk about the ones that Duarte went through. As you know, we started as a freelance firm with my husband, and then we became a service bureau. We got lots of clients. Clients would say, hi, doll this, that. We'd say, thank you very much, like we're little Keebler elves or something. And then we would hand it back and be like, thank you very much. So we just serviced them. We had a service creed called The Show Must Go On. And we would do anything we can. I remember this one time we stayed up all night working on a slide for a guy who was the CEO of Lotus at the time, which is now IBM. And I was so wiped out, I fell asleep in my room, and the show producer calls, and I literally jump out of bed, and I just run down the bowels of the convention center, show up, I'm like curtsying, hand him the disc, we load it up, I'm like, thank you very much. And I go back to the room that we have, the little boiler room, and my team's like, oh my God, you met an executive looking like that? I had like my red nightshirt on, my bare feet, and like sheet marks across my face like that. That's how we got it. The show must go on no matter what. We will do whatever we can. So we were a service bureau, and then I hired a relatively famous creative director, and I'm like, we need to become a design firm. I don't want to just be dolling things up at the minimum. And so she brought in practices like critiquing. Let's print it out. Print it out. Let's put it on the wall. Let's talk about what worked, what didn't. I'm like, wow, so foreign. Because we were just based on service, not on necessarily the design quality. So then we actually, the dot-com crash happened. During the design phase, we'd expanded into multimedia, print, web. We became a generalist agency. Dot-com crash happened. All my print, web, multimedia went away, and the phone kept ringing for presentations. So if you think about it, even in a downturn, you need presentations, the best presentations of the arms of the sales force to run out there and shore up the business. So I can't say we're recession-proof. The phone kept ringing for presentations in the dot-com crash. At the same time, 2001, Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, came out. And in it, he says, if there's one thing you could be passionate about, be best in the world at, and be profitable at, do just that one thing. So here we are barreling. The economy's just tanking. My business dipped about 30% because all my multimedia print went away. So the economy's just crashing, and I did a super counterintuitive thing. I trimmed 3 out of 4 of our services out at the same time. We focus on the niche of presentations. Nobody had actually done that at an agency of scale. So we narrowed our niche, and then we decided, you know what, we want to become the global leader. We want the world to know that we're here, because we really felt like we were the global leader. So that was the journey.